Hello, I'm going to be making some paper flowers with the Cricut machine. So this is the Cricut machine. It's actually going to pre-cut some paper for me, and you'll be able to see it go in. So it takes it in, and it cuts all the paper. So as that's cutting, I'm gonna show you, I've already pre-cutted some. These are the bigger size. These are smaller and goes to even smaller pieces. And they're actually gonna be layered for my flower. So it comes out like this, pre-cut. Things look like this. So we're done with cutting. And what I'm gonna do is actually slit them in the middle, just like that, because they're gonna be folded to make petals. So I'm gonna do that for everything. Okay, I'm gonna start off with the bigger layer, and I'm gonna be folding them just like this over each other. I have my glue gun, and I'm gonna do that for every single one of them. So this will be for my first layer. After I've flipped them all, they're gonna be like this, kind of angled. I'm gonna start rearranging them in a circular pattern for a flower. I usually can make different sizes flowers depending on the petal. I use the Cricut machine, and it's actually Bluetooth, so I have an app on my phone that lets me cut out different shapes, and I have different petal designs to make different flowers. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just layering them. But I'm just making a small flower for this presentation, just to save some paper. I usually make these for decorations, for parties, like for backdrops. I had made a whole wall of about 40 flowers for my baby shower. And I've made unicorn sets, and I've made flowers for rooms, for little girls' rooms, for above their bed. I used to cut these, actually, all the little flower petals by hand. And then I found out about the Cricut, which saves a whole lot of time. So this will be the first layer. It's gonna be like that. We'll put that to the side. And we're gonna start with the smaller ones. So putting it inside of them. So I'm gonna do the same thing for this one. Is layering them. I used to do this a lot when I was pregnant. It's pretty relaxing. The only thing is there's paper everywhere from all the cut-ups. So you definitely need a space to put everything. And the glue gets all over you. I would say the longest part of this is cutting all the pieces, because you have to make the size you want for the first layer, then rearrange them on the app to be smaller than your previous one, and then you gotta do that for every layer and every different flower design you want to make. So this is a really tiny flower, but I usually make flowers like this big, so bigger than my head, but this one's a little baby one. But the same idea, just bigger petals or more layers. Okay, so there's second layer, and we are gonna do the third layer. This is even smaller than the last petal size. You can actually make with this Cricut cutouts for iron-on shirts, or you can make cutouts for stickers depending on the material. This is cardstock, so it's pretty thick. But if you get different material like the vinyl, you can make different things like tumblers to write. I've always wanted to try them, but I just haven't. To make tumblers, to use I forgot what it's called. I think it's epoxy to dip them in, but you put the adhesive vinyl to make a name or whatever design you want to make, if it's a little character. So this is the inside. Getting away from me. And I even make the center of it. So here's the third layer. Depending on how arched you make the petals, this will become higher up. So it'll be like if you want to stick it on a wall, it'll be sticking up a lot. But if you add more petals around, you can make it more flat, which is what's cool about it. And now we're on to the last little level. Okay, let's put this middle part in. Okay, so there is the fourth layer. And now for the middle, what I'm gonna do is from extra paper, I get about, it's pretty little, so I don't need that much of it. That should probably be good. And I cut just along it like this, just like this. And I do that for the whole thing. This part is kind of time consuming too, but as they're cutting out from the machine, I usually do this with scraps that I have, so they're already ready for when I'm ready to roll it for the middle. So we're almost to the end. This will be the finishing touch for the flower. Okay, so I'm actually gonna start rolling it. All the way down.
What are you making?
Hold on, I'm recording. For my project. I'm gonna put it in the middle and open it up. So it kind of looks decent in the middle. And there you have a flower. Thank you.